Dominaria, an ancient plane filled with countless cultures, legends, and forgotten treasures. As a secret enemy plots to invade, the people of Dominaria must band together to protect their home. We use legendary creatures that come in every pack to assemble a new coalition and defend the plane where magic started. Hello everyone, my name is Elspeth. You're watching the Planeswalker Pantheon. Today we are opening up a whole draft booster box of the latest Magic the Gathering set, Dominaria United. And let's get to it, shall we? I'll just put this over here because we don't need to see that. I've already cracked the plastic open. Alright, and all of a sudden I am struggling to open the box. There we go. Ooh, we've got our box hopper, which we'll open up right at the end. Alright. First pack. Alright, it seems like we are using the Japanese style print, so our rays are always front loaded. I'm actually kind of looking for a Shieldred for my commander deck, actually. We've already got a foil in Cult Conscript, very good in mono black. Our first rare, though, is Archangel of Wrath. So for 2 and 2 white, you get a creature angel. It's a 3/4 with kicker of black and a red. It has flying and lifelink, and when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, it deals 2 damage to any target. And if it was kicked twice, it deals 2 damage to any target. So kick it once, you get 2 damage. Kick it twice, deal 4. Our uncommons right here. We've got the Rada in the alternate art frame, which is always nice as well. And we can skip through these commons. No one wants to see this. Alright. Next pack on it. Alright, so we've got our Soldier Token. Got a Swamp. Ooh, we've got a Blades Arisen Nightmare. I love this artwork. Like, every time I think Wizards can't do more with their alternate frames, they do something else just as cool. So for 1 and 2 black, a legendary creature Nightmare. It's a 3/3. At the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice an artifact, creature, enchantment, land, or planeswalker. Hint: this is also Blades. You can play and command it unless they've unbanned the previous one. If you do, each opponent may sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type with it. For each opponent who doesn't, that player loses 2 life and you draw a card. Got Strength of the Coalition, Twinferno, and Cleaving Skyride, which is very, very good in limited. Good to see Lightning Strike back at uncommon where it belongs. But we will skip. Oh, sorry, Badger. Skip through the rest of those. Alright. Next pack. Alright. Token that no one cares about. We have a Plains. Well, we have an Ivy Gleeful Spell Thief. So for green and a blue, you get a legendary creature Fairy Rogue. It's a 2/1 flying. Whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy Gleeful Spell Thief, you may copy that spell. The copy will target Ivy. Very nice. I was actually playing that in during the pre-release, actually. Join Forces, I believe, as a reprint from, I want to say, Battle Bond. Tail Swap's great removal as well. I wanted to play like a blue-green sort of tempo deck, but I just never saw the Ivy, and I was kind of bummed out about that, to be honest. Alright, just make sure all my piles are good. Yep, that's all good right there. Alright, next one up. Yeah, I love that we're going back to Phyrexia, and we're going back to the Brothers War. One of them will be doing some sort of time manipulation like what happened in Theros. I mean, not Theros, in Khans. Got a bird, got a swamp, have a foil heroic charge, great if you're going wide. Our rare is a Llanowar Lone Speaker, which is our buy box promo. So for 1 and a green, you get a creature, Elf Druid. It's a 1/3. Tap to add 1 mana of any colour. Tap target land you control becomes a 3/3 elemental creature with haste until end of turn. It's still a land. Activate only as a sorcery. Got a Balmar Battlemage Captain as our legendary. Black pile. There's actually a blue-black, sort of like a blue X Defenders deck, which actually looks pretty neat. I had one that had 2 of the uncommon ones in blue, the one that mills, and it got to a point where I was milling for at least 6 a turn, which is kind of crazy. Alright. Next one up. Of course, there's always a soldier token. Mountain. Oh, we've actually got our first mythic. Is that? No, it's not foil. It's kind of foil from the angle I was looking at. Soul of Windgrace for 1 and the full Jun, so black, red, and green. You know, legendary creature cat avatar. It's a 5/4. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, you may put a land card from a graveyard onto the battlefield tapped under your control. If you pay a green, discard a land, you gain 3 life. Pay 1 and a red to discard a land, you draw a card. 2 and a black, discard a land. Soul of Windgrace gains indestructible until end of turn and tap it. That'll make a pretty good commander, I think. Relic of Legends, Wingmantle Chaplain, and Elvish Hydromancer are uncommons. Not that we really care about the commons, unless there's something really neat that I want to talk about. Alright, next one up. Oh, we got one of the Ravenman's birds. Oh, we got one of the pretty islands, always nice. Our rare is Guardian of New Benalia. So for 1 and a white, you get a creature human soldier. It's a 2/2 with enlist. When it enlists a creature, scry 2, discard a card, it gains indestructible until end of turn and tap it. We have New Ghana, Bloodfist of Keld as well, Braid's Fight for Return, and War Host's Frenzy as our uncommons. Tribute to Urwog's very good removal limited. Shore Up's great as well. Not really, but very good protective spell. Alright, next one up. Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with the Brothers War. I know this set just came out, but I'm always excited for like the next bit of lore that will drop. Got a token that no one cares about. Got an island. Oh, we've got a Rider's Firebrand. I've actually been playing this on Arena in mono red. So for 1 and a red, you get a creature human warrior. It's a 3/1. When it attacks, target creature defending player controls with power less than Rider Firebrand's power can't block this turn. If you have Domain, you can pay 5 and a red. It gets +2/+2 until end of turn. This ability costs 1 less for each basic land type among lands you control. Activate only once each turn. Fair enough. We've got the new Wrath, Joda's Codex, and Coalition Sky Knight as our uncommons. And unless there's anything cool, we can go to the next one, because we like to be efficient here. Alright, next one up. Oh, we've got the Monks for Jaya. Doesn't even get Jaya in the pack? No, I'm kidding. We've got a pretty forest as well. Hey, I asked and I shall receive. This is Sheoldred the Apocalypse. So for 2 and 2 black, it's a legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor. He's a 4/5 with Death Touch. Whenever you draw a card, you gain 2 life. When an opponent draws a card, they lose 2 life. Cult Conscript, very good in mono black. Featured grade mono red, and Love Song of Night and Day. I actually like the Breeder Head mechanic, because this actually makes. I can understand why they put this particular one at Saga Red Uncommon, because if you skip the first one, parts 2 and 3 are just gravy. You don't want to give your opponent more cards than what they need, unless they're playing in Commander and you want to sort of pay a little favour. Alright, more birds. Another forest. Oh, we have, oh god, Retrabric of Urwog. I am not going to pronounce that correctly ever. So for 2 white and black, you get a legendary creature, Zombie Wizard, 33 with Vigilance and War 2. Other zombies you control have Vigilance. Whenever another legendary creature you control dies, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's not legendary, and it's a 2/2 black zombie in addition to its other colours and types. Another Relic of Legends, Linebaker Boloth, and Electrostatic Infantry, which I honestly thought, from the artwork, was actually an instant or sorcery when I first saw it. Extinguish the Light, Bone Splinters is back as well. Some very good mono black removal in that pack there. Alright, speaking of zombies, we've got a 2/2 zombie, got a mountain, and our rare is Joya Aegis Innovator. So for blue and a red, you get a legendary creature, Human Artificer. Tap, it's a 2/3. Tap to put 2 Ingenuity counters on Joyra. Then you may put an artifact card with mana value X or less from your hand onto the battlefield, where X is the number of Ingenuity counters on Joyra. Got Pilfer, Tail Swipe, very good removal, and Knight of Dawn's Light. They actually did, again, the mirroring of the white and black knights, like they have done in previous visits to Dominaria, and all the plane areas associated with it. Alright, next one up. More Burbs. Ooh, got a nice Swamp. And our rare, I've got a foil Furious Bellow, and our rare is Herd Migration. So for 6 and a green, you get a sorcery. It has Domain. Create a 3/3 green beast creature token for each basic land type among lands you control. 1 in green, discard Herd Migration. You search your library for a basic land card, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle, you gain 3 life. Lagomos, Hand of the Hatred, Blight Pile, and Terra Sunder are our uncommons. I love the designs that they went with Phyrexia, and like people turning into Phyrexias and sleeper agents. It's simultaneously the most gory and non-gory thing I've probably ever seen in artwork. Alright, next one up. Alright, another soldier right there. Got our planes, and we've got a foil Haunted Mire. Yeah, the tapped, coming to play tapped actual dual lands is actually pretty good. Our rare is Aster, Bearer of Blades. So for 2 red and white, you get a legendary creature, Human Warrior. It's a 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, you look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may reveal an equipment or vehicle card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Equipment you control have equipped 1, and vehicles you control have crew 1. Note, if you happen to ever get lucky, or if you want to sort of break Aster a little bit, the Weatherlight completed, even though it doesn't have a crew cost, if you have Aster, you can crew it for 1. Resolute Reinforcements. I've seen this a little bit in standard constructors. People are trying it out. You have my Iconoclast and Hurl Cyclops are our uncommons. Phyrexian Rages, a nice little reprint. Impaired Momentum is actually quite strong. You never realize how long 3 turns of being tapped and unable to untap actually is. I think I might be rating a little bit too highly based on what I've sort of seen on Discourse, but I think I'm on the right track for it. Good. Our soldier, our forest. Our rare is Leyline Binding. So for 5 and a white, you get an enchantment. It has flash. It costs 1 less to cast for each basic land types among lands you control. When it enters the battlefield, exile target non-land permanent and opponent controls until Leyline Binding leaves the battlefield. Rurik Mons, a Warren Chief. Yotara declares war, and Prayer of Binding. So that's a lot of good white removal actually. I just saw a couple of other good pieces in store for time, which, I mean, you'll be happy to play it if you can't kick it. And that one there that we opened right towards the end, the other binder. We have an Angel. We have a Swamp. Oh, we've got our first foil rare in Stronghold Arena. So for 1 and a black, you get an enchantment that has kicker of white and or green. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life for each time it was kicked. And whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, you may reveal the top card of your library and put it into your hand. If you do, lose life equal to its mana value. And we've got Thran Portal, another very good open. It's a gate, for those who love to play No Fingers Keen. It enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or few other lands. When it enters, choose a basic land type. The portal is its chosen type in addition to other types, and mana abilities of Thran Portal costs an additional 1 life to activate. So it's kind of like a mana confluence, but not really. But hey, it's very good. Voldaren Desecrator is our legendary for the pack, Choking Miasma and Slimefoot Survey. I'm kind of sad we didn't get a new Slimefoot. A little bit. I liked Slimefoot. They put Impulse back, an absolute classic of a blue draw spell back in the old days. Alright, next one up. Speaking of Slimefoot, we have a Sapling. We have a Pretty Forest. Hey, we got our second foil rare. It's Squee, Dubious Monarch. So Squee is still alive and kicking because that goblin just don't know how to die. So for 2 and a red, you get a legendary creature, Goblin Noble. It's a 2/2 with haste. When it attacks, create a tapped red 1/1 red goblin creature token that's tapped and attacking. You may cast Squee Dubious Monarch from your graveyard by paying 3 and a red and exiling 4 other cards from your graveyard rather than paying its mana cost. Man, so it kind of has escape. We also have in Dark Eye Waste, so they've reprinted a majority of the panels. I believe the rest are coming in Brothers War, but this is a Dark Eye Waste. It taps for a colours and you can tap it for white or blue, and it has it deal 1 damage to you. Zarosian, Sign of Theria is our legendary for the pack. Got a Frost Fist Strider and a Fires of Victory as our uncommons. Jeez, this is so good. I'm happy I got my Shieldred. That's one less thing I have to chase down for my deck. But I mean, I've started getting Commander. I finally finished building Queen Marquesa. I've been enjoying her very much. She's everything I want to do in Commander. So, got a Soldier, I've got a Plains. We have a Temporal Firestorm, so for 3 and 2 red, you get a sorcery. You can kick it for 1 in a white and or 1 in the blue. Choose up to X creatures and or planeswalkers you control, where X is the number of times the spell was kicked. Those permanents phase out, and it'll deal 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Rest in peace, Gyra. Nail a Vizora Aeronaut. Your Tide declares war, and Senya Connoisseur are on commons. Rest in peace, Jaya. Johnny just decided to kick you off a cliff, kick you off the boat, more or less. Alright, so we have a zombie, we have a mountain, we have a foil Urtai Swan, which I've seen get a little bit of play here and there. Oh, and we've got another mythic, it's the Timeless Lotus. So for 5 mana, you get a legendary artifact, enters the battlefield tapped, fair enough, but that can be easily broken. And tap it to add the full Wooburg. Oh, Zar Origin in the alt frame. Phosphorus Strider, and Knight of Dusk's Shadow. I believe we opened the white one earlier. I could be wrong. I have been wrong before. Alright. Next one up. Oh, we got the Goblin Token. I'm assuming for Squee, but I think there might be some other stuff that make Goblin Tokens. We have an island. Oh, we have Sulkana the Tainted. So for 2 blue, black, and red, you get a legendary creature, Elemental Demon, to 5/5. At the beginning of your end step, choose one that has been chosen. Draw a card. Each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Sulkana deals 3 damage up to 1 other target creature or planeswalker. Exile Sulkana, then return it to the battlefield under its opponent's control. A Joint Expedition, Heroes Heirloom, and Dragon Warp, which is another old school reprint, which I was surprised to see them do. Yeah, I was like, really, Dragon Warp? That's a bit of an odd one. Next one up. Alright, so we've got an Ornithopter, an actual token. Got a Pretty Island. Got our rare is the Phasing of Zalfir, so we're actually going to talk a little bit about the read ahead mechanics. So for 2 and 2 blue, you get a Enchantment Saga. Chapter 1, another target non-land permanent phases out. It can't phase in for as long as you control the Phasing of Zalfir, and you do that twice. The 3rd chapter says, destroy all creatures. For each creature destroyed this way, its controller creates a 2/2 black Phyrexian creature token. And you can read ahead, so you can just skip chapters. You know, it's like going to the end of the book. We have Wrath in the cool alt frame, Urtai Scorn, and Balduvian Berserker. And we will flick through the rest of these. Thrill of Possibilities is always nice. Got another bit of a flavor text from Asmaranda Mydica Dustina Kuldakar. The most delicious ingredients are often the most dangerous to obtain. Oop. Nearly just knocked that whole pile, which would be just my luck. Next on up. We have a soldier. We have a basic mountain. And our rare is actually a mythic. It's Shivan Devastator. So for X and a red, you get a creature, Dragon Hydra. It's a 0/0 with flying and haste. When it enters the battlefield, with X +1/+1 counters on it. I again have also been playing this in mono red in Arena. Very, very good. I mean, it's very nice to go turn 1. Kimono faces Kakazan into turn 2 this, swinging for 1 for nothing. We have Elias Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim, Shieldred's Restoration, and Territorial Maru as our uncommons. Yeah, I've been having some fun with Mono Red. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it's just a quick... I just have it just to sort of farm up my dailies for Arena if I need to. I do have like other decks, but obviously do it that way is the quickest way. Oh, we have a knight with a 2/2 knight with protection from rain. I can't remember what makes this. This is like an odd selection. Swamp, and got a foil Nishoba Core, who says while the cuddle is dead. Oh, we got another mythic. We got Khan Living Legacy. Now, at least between pre-releases in this box so far, opened at least 1 of each Planeswalker. So for 4 mana, get a legendary Planeswalker Khan. Starts with 4 loyalty, +1 tap, create a tapped Power Stone token. It's an artifact with tap, add colorless. This mana can't be spent to cast a non-artifact spell. -1 to pay any mana. Look at that many cards from the top of your library and put one of those cards into your hand and the rest on the bottom in a random order. -7, you get an emblem with tapped and untapped artifact you control. This emblem deals 1 damage to any target. Very nice. There's got to be something there for it. Voldan Desecrator in the cool alternate frame. Protect the Negotiators and Balduran Atrocity are our uncommons. Oh, 2 of the dual lands there. Alright, next on up. Again, a token that no one cares about. Basic Island. A foil Resolute Reinforcements. Our rare is Chaotic Transformation, so for 5 and a red you get a sorcery. Exile 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, up to 1 target enchantment, up to 1 target planeswalker, and or one target land. For each opponent exiled this way, its controller reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a card that shows a card type with it. Puts that card onto the battlefield, then shuffles. So it's a kind of like a Chaos Orb. Bird Argravian Recruiter is our legendary. We've got Braid's Fight for Return and a Coalition Sky Knight as our uncommons. Again, so this is what I was talking about, the most goriest non-gore. This artwork on Citizen's Arrest is kind of crazy. Alright, next on up. Ooh, we have a 4/4 Dragon with Flying as our token. Basic Forest. Well, not basic, but normal forest. We have an Academy Lawmaster. So for 2 blue, you get a creature, human, wizards, a 2/3. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player may draw an additional card. If they do spells they cast this turn cost 2 more. I've kind of seen that in like a mono blue sort of like temporary deck, like a Delver deck. Tori Diavanti Fury Rider in the really cool old frame. Whereas Vortex I've been seeing it as well a fair bit, and Phyrexian Missionary are our uncommons. Alright. Next one up. Hey, we got a Kobolds of Kirkheap! Nice, always nice to see more of those tokens. Got a pretty Swamp, always nice to see those. Oh, we've got the green Defiler, so the Defiler of Vigor. So for 3 and 2 green, you get a creature for Phyrexian Worm. It's a 6/6 with trample. As an additional cost to cast green permanent spells, you may pay 2 life. Those spells cost green less to cast if you paid life this way. This effect only reduces only the amount of green mana you pay. A note, which is kind of important, I've been learning about on Arena by playing the red one in mono red. You can only do it for 1 green pip. It doesn't allow you to get things for completely free. But whenever you cast a green permanent spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Got a Tori Diavanti in the normal frame, Founding of the Third Path, and Elvish Hydromancer as our uncommons. Yeah, I think people have been underestimating the mono red, the red Defiler, personally. You'd be surprised how relevant 1 point of damage anywhere you want goes. I mean, hello, have you guys not played with any of the devil tokens that Nicholas makes? Ooh, Sand Warrior. For Hassan, got a Swamp, Foil Shore Up, very good blue protection spell. Oh, we have Mira, Scholar of Antiquity. So for 1 red and green, get a legendary creature, Elf Artificer. It's a 3/3. Tap an untapped non-token artifact you control to add green. Tap 2 untapped non-token artifacts you control. Exile the top card of your library. You may play them this turn. Vision of Fountains, Fire's Victory, and Knight of Dawn's Light are our uncommon. So I think if I hadn't already opened the white one, I'd now have. Alright, next one up. Soldier, basic Swamp, and our rare is another Stronghold Arena. I've already opened this, so I won't read it again. Urg, Spawn of Turg, Pilfer, and Weatherseed Treaty are our uncommons. Alright. Next one up. Again, more soldiers, there's no such thing as too many. Got a normal island, and oh, we got a Shivan Reef, so this is the same as the Dark Eye race, but it's blue and red. Agile Storm Runner, Monstrous War Leech, and Wingmantle Chaplain are our uncommons. Alright, next one up. One kind of like minor upside is of these tap lands, if you want to proxy up dual lands, they're the closest thing you're going to get. Just say, hey, look, this is actually proxying for the actual dual land. You know, work that out for yourself. Planes, we've got the Defile of Faith. So it has this. So for 3 and 3 white, you get a creature Phyrexian human. It's a 5/5 with vigilance. It has that same Defiler text, but whenever you cast a white permanent spell, you create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. We've got Najal Storm Runner in the cool alternate frame. Micromancer and Hurlin Battle Hymn as our uncommons. Got off Phyrexian Rager, such a good card. But man, I can't imagine if Dominaria gets taken over by the Phyrexians. Like I said, I'm wondering if when we go to the Brothers' War, because I mean, Khan's there, time travel is very much an option. So we've got a 3/3 beast, got a cool mountain. Yeah, so time travel is absolutely an option if they need to do something really crazy. We have a Voldaran Mind Singer. So for 1 and 2 blue, the creature Merfolk Wizard, it's a 2/2. You can kick it for 1 in a red and or 1 in a green. When it enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it for each time it was kicked. When it enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature with power less than Voldaran Mind Singer's power as long as you control the Mind Singer. Balmor Battle Mage Captain, Joda's Codex, and Shalai's Acolyte are our uncommons. But yeah, there's always going to be like some sort of weird option. I mean, like I said, Khan's looking at going back and grabbing the Silex and just blowing up the world again, or it's making his own version of it, if I remember correctly. We have a Phyrexian, got a regular planes, and our rare is Quirion Beastcaller. So for 1 and a green, you get a creature Dryad Warrior, it's a 2/2. Whenever you cast a creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on the Beastcaller. When it dies, distribute X +1/+1 counters among any number of target creatures you control, where X is the number of counters on the Beastcaller. So if you like your Quirion Dryads, this is one for creatures. Tatiova, Steward of Tides, Micromancer, and Inscribed Tablet are our uncommons. Alright. We're getting towards the bottom of the box. I think we've only got about 6 packs left, if I'm doing the counting right. Again, a token that no one cares about. Normal basic mountain. We've got the blue Defiler. So for 3 and 2 blue, you get a creature Phyrexian Sphinx. It's a 4/3 flying. Same text as the previous Defilers, but when you cast a blue permanent spell, draw a card. 3 best words in Magic. Bade Argovian Recruiter in that really cool alt frame. Cut down, very, very good removal, both in limited and in standard at the moment. Hurlin Battle Hymn are our uncommons as well. Alright. get to the next one. We've got a sapling, got a mountain, and we've got a four-rufous vine wall. And our rare is the Cruelty of Gix. So for 3 and 2 black, you get a saga. Again, just like with all the sagas in the set, you can read on ahead. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a creature or planeswalker card from it. That player discards that card. Search your library for a card. Put that card into your hand and shuffle. You lose 3 life. Put a creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. Tura Kenid Sky Knight, Cut Down, and Strength of the Coalition are uncommons. And yeah, nothing of note right there in the common slot. Next on in. Oh, we have a Merfolk token, something a little bit new and different. Pretty plains. We've got a foil Aether Channeler, so for 2 and a blue, you get a creature human wizard's a 2/1. When enters the battlefield, you choose 1. Create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying, return another target non-permanent to its owner's hand, and draw a card. And we've got a extended art Yavimaya Co. So this is again like the previous 2 pain lands, except this is for blue and green. Got Rona Sheoldred's Faithful, Coral Colony, which is that blue uncommon I was mentioning about earlier, and Shoba Brawler as our uncommons. I don't think there's going to be anything cool there. I know I mentioned a couple of things here and there, but I think I've already covered them. Alright, second last. Alright, so we've got our soldier, got our basic forest. Oh, we've got a Haughty Djinn. This is also something I've been seeing playing standard at the moment on Arena. So for 1 and 2 blue, you get a creature Djinn. It's a Starfall with flying. Its power is equal to the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard, and instant and sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. We have an Aaron Benaria's Ruin, Protect the Negotiators, and Warlord's Frenzy as our uncommons. You know what? I'm not going to bother flicking through the rest of those. I really shouldn't. Next one in. Alright, so we have an elemental token, forest, and our rare is another Squee! I'm gonna go read it because we already went through it. Walking Bulwark, Runic Shot, and Mossbeard Ancient are our uncommons. I'll just thumb through the rest, and this will be our last pack. Let's hope for some last pack magic, guys. I just realized the irony in that. Okay, so our token is an insect. Got a forest, and our rare is an evolved sleeper. So for a single black, you get a creature human. This is being seen by in standard as well. It's a 1/1 creature human. When it becomes a human, for a single black, it becomes a human cleric with base power and toughness 2/2. 1 and a black, if it's a cleric, put a death touch counter on it, and it becomes a Phyrexian human cleric with base power and toughness 3/3. And for 1 and 2 black, if it's a Phyrexian, put a +1/+1 counter on it, then you draw a card and you lose a life. Rada Coalition Warlord, Combat Research, and Love Song of Night and Day as our uncommons, and we will forget the rest about the rest. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share, favourite, and subscribe. It lets people know we exist. Feel free to leave comments if you do as well. Thank you so much for watching. Spread the news. You can follow me on Twitter, links down below, and it lets people know that I'm existing and I'm making content. And you know what? If you got to the end of the video, I got a little gift for you guys. Because I did a bunch of pre-releases for this set, I have some extra codes. So here is one for you guys right here. So the number is, in case you can't read it, is 37597-ADB5 A3463 8DD5C4F809. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. And actually, before I just realised, I just forgot about the box topper. This thing that's been sitting on my desk. Because I said I was going to open it up at the end. So I think this is as a thank you for sitting here and waiting for me to just remember that I still had this. I'm just going to crack open this box topper. Let's hope we get something real nice out of it. Alright, we opened it upside down on purpose, and our box topper. Ooh, it is the ever-changing Dane. It's actually a rare one. It's actually from the Commander deck. If I'm correct, yeah, it is from the Commander deck. So for white, blue, and black, the legendary creature Shapeshifter, it's a 3/3. One sacrifice another creature, it becomes a copy of the sacrificed creature, except it has this ability. Wow, that was actually a really good way to end this. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.